Welcome back to another Enterprise Android Pro Tips video. My name is Arthur, and in today's video, we're going to be setting up Microsoft Managed Home Screen through Intune. Let's get to it. So let's start by setting up an enrollment profile. We're going to go to Devices, Android, Enrollment. Choose the type of enrollment profile you want. We're going to go with corporate owned dedicated devices over here. I'm going to create a policy. So this is going to be my enrollment profile name. I will call it Microsoft Managed Home Screen Setup. Copy that. Then we're going to select the token type. I'm choosing shared devices. And you can just set the token date to be whatever date you want it to be, expire. Don't worry about the template. And hit next. Not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to hit next and create. And now you have an enrollment profile. So what you want to do now is create a group. So head on to groups, hit new group, keep the group type security, give it a group name. You can call it Microsoft Managed Home Screen Setup Group. The membership type will be dynamic devices. Now you want to add a dynamic query, and this was where we copied our enrollment profile name because we want to make sure that this group will be tied to that enrollment profile. So how do you do that? Choose your property as enrollment profile name equals the enrollment profile name that we had earlier. Now you're going to save that, it's up here. Hit create. And you just created your group. Next up, let's set up the configurations. So this is the first part. You want to go to Devices, Android, Configuration, and hit Create, New Policy. Select your platform. We're going to go with Android Enterprise. Profile type, you hit Templates. Now we're going to go for Device Restrictions. And if you have other devices which are different OEMs, you want to set up your OEM first. But I'm using Zebra, so I'm going to go to Device Restrictions. Give it a name. Call it Microsoft Managed Home Screen Setup Policy, Device Policy. Hit Next. Over here you can set up whatever device restrictions you want to put in here. We're not really going to be worrying about any of these right now. What we want to see is a device experience. Over here you can see it's not configured yet, so we're going to hit fully managed. Sorry, Kiosk mode, dedicated and fully managed. Now it says Kiosk mode over here. You want it to be a multi-app. That gives you the ability to have all these other add-ons down here as opposed to a single app. So let's go to multi-app, hit enable, and over here you have a small display of what your manage home screen will look like. You can add whatever application you want to add in there. Let's add Google. Let's add what else we have over here? Let's go ahead and add this and this as well. Alright, hit select and you'll see it appear over there. You can always also create a folder. You can just put your folder name and then you add the applications into the folder. Let's not do that right now. Oops. Now over here, you can choose whether you want it to be available offline or without being signed in. So let's just put Chrome to be available before you sign in. Let's keep going. These are other configurations that you could set. Whether you want a folder to look a certain way, app to look a certain way, screen orientation, notification badges, virtual home. You want to enable this so you can always exit out of Kiosk. Let's give the Kiosk a code called 121212. We're gonna go through these. It's all fine. You want to enable this so that you can configure your Wi-Fi. If you want to specify which Wi-Fi the device can connect to you at your SSID over here. If you just leave it empty, you can always just configure that yourself. Keep going. Keep going. You want your Microsoft sign-in screen. If you want a certain background, you can always add the URL in here. Same goes for the logo. I'm just gonna leave it as a default over here. Try user set pin. You can. I'm not going to. Keep going. It looks pretty good to me. So we can hit next. And we're gonna add our group. The group we had earlier. We had the Microsoft Manage Home Screen Setup group. Select that. Hit next. Hit create. The second part is the app configuration policy. Now you want to go here to apps, Android, configuration. You're going to create manage devices. Let's call it Microsoft Manage Home Screen App Policy. Select the Android Enterprise platform. Select fully managed dedicated corporate owned work profile. And select manage home screen. Now over here, we want to click on the configuration settings to pull down more information. So we're going to want to use this to set the configuration we want. So we can have something like grid size, maybe let's add some rotation in there, enable, what's it called? Auto rotation? There it is, enable auto rotation. Let's add maybe show brightness. Let's add top bar. Username style, let's add a secondary element. And let's enable the sign in. Okay, so once we have those, we can choose what we want to do with it over here, whether or not we choose it to be like working or not. So right now it says false, set that to true, and put this as your tenant name, and we want it to be first and last name. Show brightness slider could be true, enable auto rotation could be true, set grid size, just let it auto. Now whether or not you want to set the connected apps or enable it or not, you can choose to do so over here, and if you want to add a credential provider, that's also fine. So we're going to hit next. We can add our groups in here. What's it called again? Microsoft Manage. There it is. Hit next and create. And there we go. So now, very important, you want to add your apps to the groups that you have. So we're gonna go to Android. We have all our apps over here. We had 3 apps earlier that we added. We added this guy, so you want to go to properties, go to assignment, you would add your group in here, and you set it to required. And if you want to get rid of it later, you can always remove it from here or exclude it and put in the uninstall. So save. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it for the other apps as well. Go here, add the group that it needs, save, and one more was Google. Go here, and add the group it needs. So now all our apps that's going to be on the manage home screen is going to be tied to this group that's also tied to enrollment. So let's go and start enrolling our device. So I have a TC58 device over here right now. What you want to do is you want to grab your device, you want to open up your token in Intune. You're gonna tap onto the screen multiple times till you get this. Then you're gonna scan the QR code. Then you're gonna insert your Wi-Fi. Fill in the password. Go across. There we go. Now you just wait for all of your applications to be pulled down, and we'll go from there. So be right back. Now everything is set up over here. Microsoft Manage home screen has appeared on its own, and all you gotta do is log in to your account. Password. And you'll be signed in. So we have our browser, a Chrome, in the AC chat. We could see our brightness, our auto rotate, the Wi-Fi. You see my name up there, just loaded in. You see who's owned by, and you can even sign out over here. There you have it. One more thing worth mentioning is if you're trying to exit the launcher, what you want to do is hit the back button multiple times. You can hit exit launcher over here. It will be the pin that you set earlier in your Intune. Now you can change anything you want in the Android home screen. And there you have it. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea on how to set up Microsoft Managed Home Screen through Intune. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section down below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.